I will crush anyone who blocks my path.
The blood that flows through her veins is special, and extremely dangerous. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate to kill.
Welcome back. Let's play Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Looks like we somehow managed to sort things out, and casualties were kept to a minimum.
Like, one person. That is a fucking minimum.
They said they weren't picky about who they used as their test subjects. Because of them, the people of Ramire Village.
This has got to be. I actually didn't even think about this, but that's almost cruel to deploy Leona here because she like probably knew these people that she was killing.
There you are.
Hey, Eddie. How? I guess you can teleport.
So, you're the Flame Emperor.
Yes. I believe you have met my subordinate, the Death Knight.
We've met you. What are you talking about?
Oh, we've met all right. But back to you. You're the one responsible for the destruction of this village.
Do not get the wrong idea.
And I remember when I first saw this, I was like, how the fuck does that even work? You just acknowledged that the Death Knight works for you and he was working with them. But then, yeah, there's that scene where they, like, he gave the Death Knight to Solon.
What in blazes does that mean?
It is true that I am working with Solon, but that does not mean our objectives are the same. Had I known they planned to do this, I would have stopped it. You have my word.
Your words are meaningless. Now, I'll have to insist that you accompany us back to the monastery.
I cannot abide that. However, if you wish to join forces, I will hear your plea.
I can't. Does Edelgard actually think this will ever work?
What?
If left to their own devices, they will commit countless more violent acts like this one. Do you not wish to prevent that? With the sword of the Creator on our side, Solon would not be a threat.
Yeah, at this point, so I actually looked this up. You can say that you refuse here and still end up going with her later. But I don't want my dad to be, like, mad at me.
Pity, though not unexpected. Pray that you do not live to regret your choice.
Gerald, Professor, have you seen Lady Edelgard?
What's wrong, kid? Huh? Oh, damn it!
That's very interesting that
He's gone. I've been meaning to talk to you. Since coming to the monastery, you've changed.
Sorry for the slight blip out. I actually wanted to stop and go back and reread and make sure I understood correctly that choice does not actually lock you out, and it does not. So the actual choice that's relevant is like it is in the free time exploration of the like last month before the 2 war campaign where like Edelgard attacks the monastery. So I'm still okay here. In fact, you can actually make it all the way up until the end of the battle where you are given a choice.
You've been angry since we first arrived in Ramire Village. And you look so happy when you're instructing the brats. Before the monastery, I'd never seen you bear your emotions like that. Not once. Then perhaps it's a good thing we came to the monastery. If only so I could see your face lit up like that.
Every time I see this, I think they misspelled light, but then I realize lit does also apply. It's just odd that he's looking at me now, and I'm kind of slightly smiling.
Or maybe there was never any reason for us to leave the monastery in the first place. I've put my foot in my mouth, haven't I? Though I suppose it may be nearly that time. Come to my office when you next have a moment to spare. There's something I need to tell you.
So, obviously this means that we're about to lose Gerald, because he's about to not be able to reveal all the stuff that we all already know, because we've played through this game several times, but...
Just what was that about? I can't recall a time of old when you were at the monastery. I wonder what is hiding in the mist that is your past.
So that just this like attached to me? Like, no, because she showed up when Edelgard and all of them got here. I wonder what actually caused her to wake up. something I've never actually realized or known that I didn't know.
Professor, I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but admirable work out there. I really believe we did all that we could. Gerald said the same thing. We must try to stay positive, even through the horror.
I can definitely understand why you're trying to reassure yourself.
I hear the so-called Flame Emperor appeared in Remire Village as well.
Yeah, coincidentally when you were nowhere to be found.
Hubert told me that you spoke with him. Really? Is that what you want, Professor?
I don't know him from a block on the wall.
That makes sense. It's hard to trust someone without knowing who they are, or how they're connected to all this. Even if he wants you as an ally, his objectives are still unclear. If the Flame Emperor truly wishes to make use of your power, perhaps someday he will appear before you without his mask, and you can look in his eyes and decide what you believe.
This is so cool when you actually know the whole story.
Adel, I need to ask you something.
Monica, leave her alone.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I interrupt?
No, not at all. If you'll excuse me, Professor.
You did well handling that awful business in Remire Village.
Thank you.
I am certain the goddess shares in our grief at the senselessness of that calamity. More importantly, I was shocked to hear that our own Tomas was actually a dark mage. I must reflect on our blindness.
Yeah, I need you to, like, vet your staff, because so far we found out 2 members of the senior staff at the monastery were working with those who slither.
You surely must. You failed to notice that a rat was hiding in your home. Pathetic.
And actually 3 if you count Edelgard. Like, she isn't senior staff, but she's still a member of the monastery.
Who are these wicked foes? How did Tomas escape your gaze?
And Cronia, if you want to count that. Like, that one, I kind of can overlook Cronia very easily. I can even overlook Edelgard, but the other 2 are a bit surprising.
Tomas came to the monastery 40 years ago, by recommendation of House Ordelia of the Alliance.
Interesting. That's something I never noticed before, House Ordelia. That was before House Ordelia was involved in the Slitherers, though.
Around 8 years ago, he went back to House Ordelia.
There we go.
Before returning to the monastery once again, just last year.
So yeah, that 8 years ago he went back to help with the Lysithia experiments. Which is interesting that considering how much she knows about what went on, she was allowed to come to the monastery. Because, obviously there's been no indication that she recognizes Tomas in that guise, but it still seems an unnecessary risk.
After having worked at Garreg for decades, why would he betray us now? Just what did he hope to accomplish? Yuritsa became a professor at the Officers' Academy because of a recommendation from the Imperial nobility. Supposing that he is the Death Knight, that means that our enemy is an organization that has taken root in at least 2 territories.
In the long history of the Church of Seros, no, long before even that, there have been an endless number of threats to the peace of Fodlan. Yet those who oppose us still operate in the shadows, their identities a mystery. I believe that Solon and the Death Knight are merely one part of a much larger whole.
Alright, that makes sense.
A threat to Fodlan's peace? That means we have no choice. We have to stop them all.
I have truly come to rely on you. I believe that the monastery...
Oh wow,
will
that's
remain
some
safe
heavy
so
language.
long as we have you. We do not yet know the enemy's objective or whereabouts. For now, please devote yourself to preparing for whatever comes next.
That is all for today.
Professor, please wait. I know there is much that you still do not understand. However, one thing is clear. You possess great power.
You're gonna be so disappointed in me.
I believe that you are destined to be a source of great hope for...
Oh my gosh, laying it on thick, aren't you?
In any case, I expect great things from you. Walk this world proudly, dear Professor. May the goddess Sothis protect you.
The goddess Sothis? Is that what she just said?
That is what she just said.
Is something the matter? I see. Sothis is the goddess's true name. Please do not use it carelessly.
I knew she wouldn't like that answer, but I didn't want to
Farewell.
lie to her.
Do not say something that we may regret. What exactly am I?
Well, you were my girlfriend in the last run.
For now, let's leave this place. Please, go.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Part 1. White Cloud.
Chapter 9, guys.
Ethereal Moon. The Cause of Sorrow. Though most stars will still glimmer in the crisp winter air, the Blue Sea Star has gone back into hiding. Legend states that the goddess prays for peace from her home in the heavens.
Her home is in my head.
In the town of Garreg-Mach, the anniversary of the monastery's completion nears, and the people's prayers intensify ahead of the Millennium Festival, still 5 years hence.
That is one thing that is a very valid source of confusion. Like, without me around, how did Edelgard having that massive army, how did she not win a war within 5 years? Like, it seemed like she was a fairly overwhelming force, although I guess she was basically on the verge of victory when I finally woke up. I wonder if there will be that 5-year pass out for me, you know, in this route, whenever I join with her.
I'm here, Professor.
You are here.
That delightful smell. My favorite tea. Is it yours too? Sorry to trouble you.
Better be.
I'll finish this tea.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely wants to talk about himself. That's like all he does.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, he talks a lot about back when he was in school and Geralt was around and blah 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 blah.
Huh? Yeah.
Tell me more about yourself.
Ghosts, sailing, spicy foods. These are the fears I have yet to conquer.
I was gonna say, he will always, is just a huge, super amicable person.
Captain Geralt once told me I didn't look dignified. That's why I grew this beard.
Really?
Something wrong?
What the hell is that angle?
Thanks for the tea, Professor. Let's do that again sometime soon.
More charm for me. I'll take it. Oh. Absolutely.
It's just... I was wondering why it seems as if no one values their own lives.
I'm really glad someone actually brought this up.
Why do we fight until we die? Why do we kill without hesitation? I hate it. I don't like taking lives, or even the sight of blood. In the last battle, some of the soldiers under my command died for foolish reasons. Those soldiers could have pulled back. Instead, they kept fighting and were overrun.
I guess that's true. I said only one person died to that villager, but yeah, like, each of them have battalions, and so it's not really reasonable to think. Although, granted, I will also say, like, Lindhart wasn't even in the last battle, so shut the fuck up.
Am I supposed to be satisfied with the victory alone? even at the cost of such life?
I mean, like, it's not that we're happy about...
Exactly. I don't see the point. Honor? That's a foolish reason to give your life. Glory? Just the thought frightens me. I'm not suited for battle, Professor.
There's some fights that you can't run away from.
I suppose that's the nature of the world, isn't it? Professor, you take the time to lead me and teach me like this every day. Could the reason be that you don't want me to die on the battlefield?
I mean, that's one of the reasons, yes. That's a statement.
That's a bold statement, Professor.
But one he can actually make.
But for whatever reason, I want to believe you. You really are a strange person, you know?
I get that a lot.
Professor, I wish to ask something of you. I don't want to kill. I don't want blood on my hands.
I guess that's why you're a healer.
I just want to lie on my back and soak up the sun filtering down through the trees. And I want you to help me make that a reality.
Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna make, like, the whole world stop fighting. I'll try?
We are planning a grand ball for this month. I'm sure the students will be most pleased.
No assignment, because we don't know that the event is going to happen.
Yes, certainly. However, we must not devote all of our time to frivolity. We have a new mission for you. We have found evidence of someone sneaking into an unused chapel.
Okay, maybe there's a mission.
No, there is nothing of value in that building. We do not yet know what the intruder's objectives are.
Maybe they're having a tryst. A tryst.
This
I think it's pronounced
your
tryst.
class is tasked with guarding the chapel and investigating these intruders. With the recent state of affairs surrounding the Holy Church, we cannot afford to overlook any abnormality, no matter how seemingly trivial.
I am ordering a seasoned knight to assist you to ensure the safety of the students. In times like these, I am afraid we must always expect the worst.
Awesome.
Reporting for duty, Lady Rhea.
I thought you two could use the time to bond. And to speak of important matters.
Appreciate the thought.
How about we get Alois? I'm going to be more okay with losing him.
Bear in mind that Gerald has a separate mission of his own. He will join you once he has finished it.
It's true. I'll be away from the monastery for a while. But when I return, I'll come and watch you work. I'll be looking forward to it.
I mean, you kind of already did, didn't you? Alright. I don't think anyone hit level 20 other than... Yeah, it's looking like no. So, no advanced classes for anyone yet. Filthy! Talk to you while I can.
No. Solon, was it not? And the Flame Emperor. It is most clear that something has transpired. And it relates to you somehow. Or is the fault my own? And you're just caught inside the wave.
It could be all the things.
Sothis, the goddess of this world. I bear her name. How confusing. I feel as though my head has turned to mush.
Okay, so before we, like, go and do social linkage, this is actually the month where we get to, like, decide who we're going to hang out with in the Goddess Tower. So, we need to ignore all these people.
That's so...
I mean, we'll obviously get to them later. Don't fret, it's okay. But get over to our friend the guard.
Yep.
Pardon me.
I think I actually missed this the first time I played.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Other than the legend of the Goddess Tower, of course. Have you heard the students talking about it? On the last night of the ethereal moon, on the same night as the ball, If a man and a woman go to the Goddess Tower and make a wish, it's sure to come true. I have a wish, but I can't find anybody to make it with me.
Oh, interesting. So I can kind of pick anyone. Before it only gave me like 3 choices. I guess this must have been something they patched. I can go with Linhardt. So Petra. Interesting. It does not acknowledge. I guess they didn't give Happy in them. One of these. Well, I already went with Leonie. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I did my first playthrough. I ended up with someone the second time. I don't even remember who it was. But yeah, of the people here, Petra is definitely the one that I'm interested to see. So we'll pick her. I do not know, I think everyone knows that Shamir is my pick for the Black Eagle playthrough. But in terms of the church playthrough when I get to the end, I very, very much, I'm still torn. Okay. At this point, it does look like I'm torn between Petra and Happy. I don't have a big say there yet. Elvis, what the fuck are you doing up here?
The ball really brings back memories. Had some wild times back when I was first enrolled here. Ladies used to line up around the block for a chance to dance with the debonair king of grappling.
I'm sure they did. Okay, so I only had the one. Go ahead and start with Edelgard. Edelgard has level 2 with Dorothea. That makes sense. I did kind of bind them together. I like that.
You're in high spirits today, Dorothea.
Yes. I have met someone quite charming recently. I'm hoping we can spend more time together soon.
Ooh, is it Eloise?
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I wish I had some advice to offer. Alas, I do not.
Don't worry too much about it, 80.
I do like how casual Dorothea is with her.
I guess romance isn't really something you're interested in anyway.
I'm not completely disinterested.
Oh yeah? Is there someone you have your eye on?
Of course, that's immediately where she goes.
To be honest, there's nothing resembling romance in my life at present. It's not that I'm disinterested. I'm simply too busy with other endeavors. I have no time to spare for such things.
That's not surprising. You're not just any old noble, after all.
She's not old at all.
Anyone who has feelings for you, well, they're in for a pretty complicated life.
True. And I can't ignore the possibility that I may have to marry for political purposes. I doubt I'll ever have the opportunity for a passionate romance as long as I live.
Aww.
That's no way to talk. You meet the right person and boom, you have passion to spare. Could be someone you've just met or someone you've known your whole life. There's no telling how life will go. Something could even spark between the two of us.
You and I? Now that is an entertaining thought.
I forget that Dorothea does go both ways.
If such an exciting future is in store, I look forward to it.
Oh yeah? That's awfully sweet of you.
That was very diplomatic as well. You can tell that she's the, heir. Alright, and Ferdy? Ferdinand?
Good day, Ferdinand. Working on your armor again?
Good day to you too. That is right. I have been overusing it a bit lately.
That's okay.
Now, allow me to wager a guess. Are you feeling hungry as usual?
As usual? It is not as though I am always searching for a meal.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
I am rather interested in armor. Do you mind if I peer over your shoulder while
Wow,
you
Flame, you are such a little liar.
Of course not. Please, feel free to observe.
Thank you for allowing me the pleasure. Oh, so many different types. Wow. Helmets, armor, gauntlets. The range of defensive items seems innumerable. This one seems different from the rest of them. It is akin to a gauntlet, except...
Flame, careful!
Huh? Oh!
Flame, are you alright? Did you injure yourself?
What happened? Is it like a bladed gauntlet?
I am well. But what was that?
That could have been serious. Please forgive me. I should have warned you first.
Please tell me what it is. I'm confused.
This is a new type of gauntlet with a spring-loaded blade over the knuckles. The mechanism is rather easily triggered. How foolish of me not to warn you.
No, I am the one who was overly curious and reached out without permission. My apologies.
You don't need permission to touch someone. That is not true. You absolutely do.
But, when you snatched me out of harm's way, you embraced me quite tightly.
Oh my gosh, are we really going down this route?
Yes. You were in danger and my instincts simply took hold. I hope you will forgive my rashness.
No, it is not that at all. It is just...
Okay.
You hugged me so
we
tight.
We get it.
Did it hurt? I am so sorry, Flane. I did not mean to cause you any discomfort.
I do actually think they have positioned them slightly closer together than most scenes, so that's cool.
Not at all. Not in the slightest. Anyway, I had better be on my way.
Such a delicate creature. And that sweet demeanor. Yeah, snap out of it, Ferdinand.
Nope, stay in it. It's a good place to be. Linhardt and Cass. Oh, they finally hit rank 1. Awesome. Good for you guys.
You're looking pretty tired, Linhardt. I think you could use a little more of the fighting spirit.
I believe you have enough fighting spirit for the both of us.
Enough? There's no such thing. You need as much as you can get if you're gonna train.
But he doesn't train, Caspar.
I'd rather pace myself. You're becoming too much like your father. I still recall with startling clarity the time he forced me to do some training.
Isn't that like half of Poland by this point?
I remember your father wasn't too happy about that. Our fathers actually got into a fight over it.
They hate one another so much. I simply cannot fathom what's wrong with the two of them.
I wish they'd just have it out already. One big fight to settle things. My father would win, obviously, but it would still be fun to watch.
That would be rather cruel. I don't think anyone in Fodlan could beat up your father. My father does have the height advantage, though.
Height advantage? What does that matter?
Of course, Caspar is going to be a little sensitive over the height issue.
When two opponents are of similar strength, the one with the height advantage wins. It's pure math.
Whoever forces the other to submit wins. That's how fighting works. It has nothing to do with height.
Brute strength alone doesn't decide a fight. And taller people have longer limbs, too. Longer limbs equates to a longer reach. Taller people can hit you from farther away. Oh, and they have more leg strength.
Linhardt, this would be a good time to stop talking.
There's also that... Well, I'm bored explaining this. I think you get my point.
No, I don't get it. Now you're talking about limb length and reach? None of that matters when you're up close and brawling.
You know, I'm going to agree with you just so I don't have to keep talking.
If you've got something else to say, then come out and say it. Actually, no, forget this. I'll prove it to you myself. Some of those new knights look pretty tall. I'll fight one just for you.
And off he goes.
Well, that's better than I thought his reaction would be. I thought he'd just tackle Linhardt.
They're all so strong I couldn't land a single blow.
So it's as I said then, isn't it? The tallest fighter has the advantage. And my father could beat yours in a fight.
My dad's tougher than your dad. Okay, that was delightful. I loved that. Super, super, super happy about how that worked out. Okay, here's the trap.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
How long did you expect me to stand here?
I did just say sorry, but I could say the same to you. You were pretty slow to settle on a time.
I can't help having a busy schedule. Plus, I thought you could use the extra time to prepare.
We could go back and forth like this all day. Or we could get started.
You were the one who kept me waiting. Let's begin.
On my signal?
Hurry up.
That's better. Okay, go!
Let's see what you... A pit trap?
That's right. How you feeling down there?
Coward!
Say what you want, but Captain Gerald taught me this one. You're heavier than you look.
Wow, way to like knock a man down and then call him fat.
I'll admit, I wasn't expecting that.
If this were for real, you'd be dead. Aren't you glad I put straw down there instead of spikes?
Yes. I underestimated you. I suppose your lateness was a ploy to distract me.
You're not wrong. I did it to rile you up. Draw you in. You're capable, confident. I was counting on that. So, what do you think about Captain Gerald's training now?
His technique worked and you won. What else is there to say? Winning is all that matters. You drew my attention to a major vulnerability. I'll need to be wary of traps. Thank you, Leone.
I've always liked this
Seeing
exchange.
as you're thanking me, can I ask you a favor? Will you come watch my next training session? I'd like a few pointers about fighting in close quarters.
The loser must pay tribute, I suppose. Yes, I'll help you train.
You will? Thanks!
Alright, and nope, not quite done. Awesome, we get to end with a Shamir. Do I need to tell you that I like Shamir? I mean, seriously?
Why am I so off? Yesterday wasn't like this.
Granted, we've seen this one too. This is about the butterfly, or the something.
Some days I just can't seem to hit anything.
Your mind, body, and technique are not synchronized. Find harmony between the three. You lack experience. You'll improve if you practice.
Now that you mention it, Shamir, how come I've never seen you train? Do you keep odd hours? Or are you just so good that you don't even need it anymore?
It's definitely not either of those.
I am always training. Look here.
A dagger.
Watch.
Wow, nice throw. That was a long one. But does throwing knives at pillars really count as shooting practice?
Look closely.
Is that a centipede? You pierced it clean in half. How did you even see that?
I train everything. Eyes, speed, accuracy.
This is why Shamir's best.
Watch as the bird flies. Feel the wind. Recognize the distance between objects. Not all training requires a weapon. Integrate training into your daily routine.
My daily routine, huh? Well, that's great advice. Thanks. I'll do my best.
Very good. Just be cautious.
Alright, and that is all of our social linkage. We are at 30 minutes at this point, so I will go ahead and end the episode. Next time we will run around Garrick Mach, and then... Oh, I should have looked to see if we had any new paralogs. If no, after we do Garrick Mach next time, the episode after that will either be the end of the month or paralog battle, if there are any that have to do with the Black Eagles. Because I don't believe I've seen any of the Black Eagle paralogs, unless there's one that deals with, Dorothea. I don't remember it specifically. Actually, I think I do. I remember something about, like, a marriage proposal? I don't know. Regardless, I will see you next time. Thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are awesome.